Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of I'm Pro Vegan. I feel like my hair has fallen down, so I need to redo it. That's probably good enough. My name is Caleb Steele, and I'm here today to bring you episode 3. Or just 3, that's 6. Just 3. 1, 2, 3. Episode 3. Vegan pot pie. Growing up, I used to love my grandmother's pot pies, and so today I'm basically making the exact same thing, just not with chicken. So, and this is really simple. It comes together really quick. It can be even faster depending on how you want to cook it. I'm also going to be making biscuits to put on top, but you can use pie crust. You can use pre-roll. You can just go buy a tin of biscuits and roll it out. It's really versatile. Another cool thing about this pot pie is you can basically use whatever vegetables you have on hand. I just had a bunch of canned vegetables in my pantry already, so I just grabbed those and just mixed it together. It's a really versatile recipe, it's really easy to make, and it comes together super simple. So let's go ahead and begin. Okay, so first thing to do, we gotta do a little bit of prep work. I need to peel this potato. So I'm gonna use the magic potato peeling technique that has been passed down through the generations. Potato peelers. There you go. One peeled potato. Sometimes I got a little time crunch today, so I gotta use a little bit of magic to make things happen. All right, so we're gonna dice up this potato in some nice bite-sized chunks so we can eat it easier. Alright, so like I said before, you can use any vegetables you want, just whatever you have laying around. Just gotta keep in mind cook time. So example, if you're gonna be cooking onions, if you wanna add onions, I would saute them before is like the step 1. I'm not using onions today, I'm using the potatoes, so I'm gonna have them cook a little bit longer than the rest of the vegetables because these are canned, so they're already cooked. Now if you're using like fresh carrots and fresh green beans, those are gonna need to be cooked longer. So I'm basically doing like the quick version today. I had a piece of garlic and I have no idea what happened to it. I think I'd scooped it into here. Guys, what happened to my garlic? I think I lost a piece of garlic. Basically, the thing with the vegetables, you just want about 3 cups of vegetables total. More than that, if you want it like really chunky, add more. If you like it more of like the soupy, brothy pot pies, add less. This is one of those recipes, and there's a lot of forgiveness in this recipe. You can really play around with it however you want. It's kind of like a whatever you have, whatever you're doing. First ingredient, 2 cups of vegetable broth. Next, we're gonna combine our milk and our flour. Now, what the flour does, the flour is gonna be, that's your thickening agent. So that's what's gonna give it that nice, viscous, that's my word of the day. That's gonna give you a nice, like, viscous, soupy. So it's not like a broth, it's more soupy. So, yeah. Boom, so we're gonna add our 1/4 cup plant milk and a 1/4 cup flour. All right, we're gonna whisk that together and make it all nice and homogenized. All right, so we've whisked it up, and next we're gonna add a few bay leaves, and then we're gonna add our potato. So once you've added your broth, flour, milk, potato, bay leaves, you're gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes as it cooks and starts to thicken up. While you're doing that, this is a great time to go ahead and start making your biscuits. So we're gonna pop back over here and we're gonna make those biscuits. Okay, so while we're letting that thicken up, we're gonna go ahead and make our biscuit dough. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take 1 cup of plant milk. I'm using cashew milk today because that's what I bought last time. So cashew milk, and we're gonna combine it with 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Now what this is gonna do, this is basically gonna be like a simulated buttermilk, basically. And then we're gonna set that to the side, and you're gonna let that sit for about 5 minutes while you do the next step. So the thing about butter normally is you need to make sure it's really cold when you start making biscuits, because you want to, as you chop it in, you want that butter to stay hard so that when you bake it, you have these like nice little butter pockets. The cool thing about Crisco is you don't have to worry about that as much. So we're gonna go ahead and pop those cubes in there. So then we're gonna cut it into the flour. Basically what you wanna do is you wanna mix it until it's about like cornmeal or like sand instead of flour. So you're gonna, as you're cutting it in, this step is really important because this is what's gonna make your biscuits flaky. Now, once again, if you're not making your own biscuits and you're using like pie crust or you use like already bought biscuit, like that's like you're just using canned biscuits, then just fast forward through this part, I guess. Or you can watch it because it's really cool and you can make biscuits for the future. Okay, so as you can see, we got our, it's combined nice and good, and it kind of has like a cornmeal-y texture to it. So then we're gonna add the rest of our dry ingredients. Oh, I should have added these first. Totally forgot. So totally should have added those first, the baking soda, the baking powder, and salt first, but I forgot because I'm not thinking. But you know what? We're just gonna go with it and we're gonna see what happens. This is improv, folks, okay? We make mistakes, but we're gonna roll with it and we're gonna see what happens. But if you're making it at home, put your baking powder, your baking soda, and your salt in first, then cut it in the butter. But not here. Here, we're cooking, we're just going with it, we're rolling with it, because I don't want to redo it, because I'm on a time crunch, because I'm borrowing Gabe's kitchen, and I gotta be out of here at like 4 o'clock today, so I gotta make sure this gets done. So we're just gonna go with it. I think it's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be fine. Look at that. This looks great. You know what? This might even be better. Maybe it's even supposed to be that way, because that's life. You know, you should just roll with it in life. Okay, so now we're gonna make a little well. Now we're gonna combine our wet with our dry. Boom. 1 cup plant milk that we mix with lemon juice. That lemon juice is, like I said, it's gonna make it tart, and it's gonna kind of give it that classic buttermilk flavor to it. So the thing with biscuit dough is you don't want to mess with it too much. You want to like get it till it's just combined, and then we're gonna sprinkle some flour on my nice cutting board. And we're gonna plop it down there. This is how it works, guys. Okay. This is it. This is magic. You're seeing the magic happen. Mistakes happen. If you're like, oh, these cooking shows, everyone's perfect. We're not perfect. I make mistakes all the time. You don't want to knead it too much. Like I said, the less you deal with it, the better it is. This looks really good. I'm pleased. I am pleased with this. So I'm gonna ball this up. And I'm going to set it to the side. All right, so once you've made the biscuit dough, it's probably about time to check on our stock to see how it's looking. All right, so it's looking really, really good over here. We got nice. I really like the consistency. If you want it thicker, add flour. If you want it thinner, add broth. I'm gonna go ahead and toss these veggies in, and we're gonna make this stew happen. All right, so before you add the vegetables, make sure you take those bay leaves out, or else you're gonna be like having to fish around and pick them out. So that's just gonna make it easier. And they'll pick out the bay leaves and then dump in those veggies. So once your vegetables are in there, let it cook for another 5 minutes or so, get them nice and hot. Make sure your oven's heated, make sure your dough's ready, and you'll be moving on to the next step real soon. Today, I'm gonna do a casserole. So I'm gonna make my dough into one big 1/2-inch sheet. You can kind of get an idea of like how big you need to make it right here. All right, so I got my biscuit dough here. I got my casserole dish. We're going to pour it into, oh, I hit it with my man button. I gotta wait for this thing to stop. So, got my dough, got my casserole dish, and I have my soup broth stock, my pot pie. I have the pot version of this pie. So I'm just gonna pour it right into this casserole dish here. All those potatoes and veggies, everything. And then we're gonna do the hardest part. It's actually easier. If you do it's like ramekins, it's a little easier. I'm choosing the really difficult way, but you know, that's life. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna kind of set it over. Oh no. And then I'm gonna take a knife, and I'm gonna cut the edges so it fits nice and neat. There you go. And if you have any like holes, obviously you can fill them with your extra dough. So, boom. Made a hole, now it's fixed. Put some here, some here. So we're gonna pop this baby in the oven, let it cook for about 15 minutes. Basically, you just need to cook the biscuit on top. But like I said, it's really forgiving. I did those mistakes on purpose to show you how forgiving this recipe is. And now we wait.
Boom. Spoon day. That's really a good idea.
Spoon day aside. All right, so it's the moment of truth. It's probably still really hot, so only Jody can eat it because she's weird like that.
The mother of dragons.
She literally, how is it?
There we go.
Teamwork.
That is a solid piece.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I didn't know.
So that's veggie pot pie. It came out really, really well, even though I made a couple mistakes. Because like I said, I did those on purpose to show you how forgiving this recipe was. Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Join us next time as we try and make some buffalo wings. Here you go.
So